I am so lucky. Honestly, every morning I wake up to a perfect cup of coffee made by my husband, Alan Hamill, of 44 years. He brings it over to my side of the bed, and it's so incredible. And I'm a great cook. You know, I've written all these cookbooks, but I do not know how to make coffee because he's been making it our entire marriage. How do you do it? What is your little secret?
I start with a really good quality organic coffee. That's very important. Then I have a really great grinder, because if you grind it too much, it gets muddy. And if you don't grind it enough, it has a bitter quality. So you have to find that sweet spot, and that comes with trial and error. I use a filter that has not been bleached. I use a natural filter because you don't want the chlorine taste in your coffee. And if you have access to alkaline water, that's also a great thing to use for making your coffee, because coffee naturally is a little on the acidic side. Then I brew it, but most of the time, I'm a killer coffee maker.
But I told you I was lucky, but there's more to coffee than just what Alan said, even though his technique is so incredible. Coffee has a lot of great benefits. You know, some years it's the bad stuff, and some years there's good things said about it. But today, we've got Dr. Stephen Joyal here today, Chief Medical Officer for Life Extension, which is an organization dedicated to helping you live healthier and longer, and an organization that I am very closely affiliated with. We're going to talk about coffee today. There was a report that came out that, and I remember Bill Falloon, the editor of your magazine, said 12 cups a day was could have benefits.
Roasted coffee beverage, which is what you drink in the morning,
right.
I love it too.
Right.
It's a very rich source of antioxidants.
Right.
However, when we take a green raw coffee bean and cook it, essentially that's what the roasting process is, when that happens, certain critical phytochemicals tend to diminish, and one of them we'll talk about today is something called chlorogenic acid.
Yes.
Yes.
Chlorogenic acid is in the green coffee beans. So for those of you who've never thought about what color they are before they become this roasted thing that we're all so used to, that always smells so divine, this is what green coffee beans look like, raw green coffee beans. So chlorogenic acid, none of us know what that is, but let's talk about what that, because that's in the raw green coffee bean.
Yes.
Why do we care?
Very important question. Now, chlorogenic acid is also in coffee beverage, but again, when we roast the raw green coffee bean,
Which look like that.
yes,
That's the real green.
that is diminished. So the green coffee bean is a much richer source of chlorogenic acid. And one of the things we'll talk about today is the benefits of chlorogenic acid in terms of our metabolism. There was a recent study published in the January 2012 edition of a peer-reviewed journal called Diabetes, Metabolic Syndrome, and Obesity. This study looked at 16 overweight individuals, treated them for 22 weeks with one of 3 different treatments. One was 350 milligrams of the green coffee bean extract taken 3 times a day.
Before the meal?
Yes, before the meal. The second used 350 milligrams 2 times a day, and the third was the placebo group. Now, the results were very impressive. Obviously, it's preliminary data, but nevertheless very exciting. And what it showed was that the group given the green coffee bean extract lost, on average, 17 pounds over that 22-week period. Now, what does that translate into in terms of percent body fat? A little less than 5%, 4.4% body fat reduction,
right.
and around 10% reduction in their overall body weight. The researchers looked at calorie intake amongst the participants, and they showed something that was quite interesting, I think. And that is that the calorie intake was similar between the groups, which suggests this. It probably wasn't an appetite effect, it probably was a metabolic effect.
What happens after you eat a meal, the meal that most people are eating? Carbohydrate heavy, sugar, they had pie for dessert, they had mashed potatoes, they had that kind of meal. What happens in our bloodstream?
What happens when we ingest a big heavy meal, rich in carbohydrate and fat, is that our body's blood sugar level goes up dramatically. So when your blood sugar level is very high, an excessive level, that blood sugar has to go somewhere.
So it goes into the
places we don't want it to go.
cells.
That's right.
But if I took green coffee berry before that meal, what would happen?
We can speculate and think, okay, why could this happen? Well, one reason could be the effect on lipase, Lipase, as you know, is an enzyme that's used to help break down fat that we eat from food. The other reason is something that we're talking about today, which is helping to support healthy levels of after-meal blood glucose levels. That's also another important factor that may help explain the results. We know that maintaining a healthy after-meal blood sugar level is very important for overall health.
Right.
We also know that when we have those blood glucose, blood sugar elevations, when they spike too high, that tends to have a damaging effect on our blood vessels, literally a direct damaging effect. And one of the things we've talked about at Life Extension, as you know, is the importance of maintaining endothelial health.
Yes.
And the endothelial cells are these very delicate cells that line our blood vessels, and they're very important for maintaining cardiovascular health. And like a variety of health issues, the best strategy is integrative.
Right.
So in addition to a foundation of a healthy diet, as well as exercise, natural nutrients play a nice complementary role.
People are going to want to know where they can get information on this, and here, if you go to
www.lef.org.
you can get a free trial subscription, and you can learn all about green coffee berry extract.
And lots of other great things too.
And lots of other great things too. Thanks.
To learn more about what you've heard today on The Suzanne Show, sign up now for the Ultimate Health Giveaway, brought to you by Life Extension. You'll receive a free special report all about proven methods for weight loss and glucose control. Plus, you'll get a free 1-year Life Extension membership with no obligation and access to groundbreaking information for longer life. You'll also be entered for a chance to win exciting prizes every week, including a luxury cruise. Sign up now for the Ultimate Health Giveaway at SUZANNETV.com or at The Suzanne Show Facebook page.